Hi, hey, and all those other greetings for adventurers. I'm Jake Spins, welcoming you guys back to my gaming and unboxing channel, where today it is the first day of 2020, January 1st. That's right, I have a new 2020 shirt. As you guys can see, it's 2020 vision. Yeah, I know, super original. But today, we're not here to discuss my creativity of shirt design. We are here to discuss my creativity, or more so, show off and try to process creativity through Smash Brothers. That was convoluted. But we're here for another episode of Build Me a Dream. Now, I'm sure you guys are seeing and hearing the Yoshi's Island theme and thinking, oh, this is a Yoshi video, like a Yoshi stage. Yeah, that's not the case. We are going to be doing Sonic Adventure Twinkle Park. It's very hard to find music for Sonic Adventure stages when there's not a lot of Sonic songs in the game. Just wanna point that out. Music's so good, and yet they have less than 20 songs. Said song's really weird. But anyway though, before we do actually get started though, I do want to mention that this is also the first video recorded on my new laptop. It's a Lenovo, I think. I've literally never heard of this company before. But through trial and error, through having to get a USB hub, I finally got this stuff working. So in a kind of way, this is the first video of 2020. It's a new milestone for me personally, finally being able to use my laptop. But in a way, this video is also kind of a stress test. Is this a good idea? Not really for a first video. I did test with a Mario Maker stage really quick, but this is going to be the first full, really long type of thing to see how it goes. And fingers crossed, it goes well, because if it doesn't, that's going to really suck to lose that much footage. But anyway, though, let's brush away my worries, brush away my milestone talk, and jump into 2020 with a twinkle in your eye. I was going to say in your park, but that just sounds weird. Yeah. Anyway, let's create. Alright guys, here we are back with another Build Me a Dream episode. I'm not going to lie, we're a little bit overdue. Not overdue as in like for a library where we have to spend $100 because we didn't renew our book. No. But we're YouTube overdue, which means that this video has been sitting for a good 20 days, which, now that I think about it, it's kind of fitting because it's in 2020. But I'll get to why that is later on into the video. But before we actually start talking about the stage itself, I do want to talk about something that also held me up in the beginning of this. Despite having a concept drawn for this, and this being one of the first levels I've ever had a concept art for a Smash Brothers level, I struggled for a good hour in the beginning of this. And do you guys want to know why? Alright, so it's very simple. So I built the stairs, and the stairs were perfect. You could run right up and down them. I learned from Bowser's Castle how you need to do stairs, and I'm so glad that I know how to do that. But the problem is, I just put the stair section, nothing below the stair section, and I didn't realize that I should probably connect it to the actual other pathway, because I was thinking about putting grass in there, because, you know, turning a giant 3D section into a 2D section, it can be a little challenging, especially when you're looking at one specific section with multiple terrains. So I decided to scrap that, but in doing so, it gave me this huge problem to where, well, yeah, it took me a long time before I was actually able to fix it. But thankfully, I was able to do that, and that's pretty much where we started at this point. And you guys saw in the beginning, I was so frustrated that when I went into test, I just watched Mario break his shield and just flop down, just to give myself a second to catch a breather. But anyway, if you're wondering what part of Twinkle Park this is, well, I had some troubles deciding what I actually wanted to necessarily do. So this is actually the section where the castle is, right after the whole roller coaster section, right after the loops. Basically, if you guys remember Big Section, or where Amy ends up after she leaves the mirror room, that's where I decided to go, just because I felt like it could be an interesting place to build for. Now, this section does actually have bombs, like bomb barrels, and the best way I could do that was using the actual bombs themselves and putting the sand blocks in the middle. And then to replicate the pond, I put that little section in the middle where we had the water in the background and then had it floating like actual water with the wind box. Alright, so now we've hit the point where I can talk about the holdup. That's right, we're hardly in this whole entire thing, but the reason we had a holdup was actually because of the flags. Now, this is kind of silly, because after building this, I decided, you know what, I need to make sure that I test this. And what I originally had decided to do was putting this in the player layer. I believe in the concept it was going to be in a different layer, but I felt that, you know, fighting on the flagpole would be kind of interesting. But things that go on later on, the flag ends up clashing, because the flag itself and the actual pole are in the player layer. So if somebody gets hit onto the flag, it actually has legitimate collision. Now this is going into the actual change that I made beforehand, and it took quite a while to do so. But I tested it with my friend Brandon, and he said, you know, I feel like it would be better if the flags were in the foreground layer, because flags just seem like they'd be better placed there. So I decided, you know what, he's right on that. I should check and change that and see, you know, how I feel about it, how I like it, and it took me literally up until yesterday, up until January 20th, 2020, to actually go and change this tiny minor thing that would have been so easy to tweak, but because of how the weight was on the level thing, I didn't want to do it. But I eventually did go and change it. So now what it is the flags themselves are in the foreground, where the pole on the actual tower is also in the player layer, so you can fight on that, but the flag is not going to interfere, and I feel like that's the best way to do it. But the left one I decided to get rid of because Mario couldn't get up there, so there's quite a few characters that just generally can't get up there very easily. Now, I'm sure you guys... Well, okay, so here's the thing. This level, despite, again, having a concept, I had quite a few struggles with. So another thing that I decided to do, and the part that we're on right now, is I decided to put the roller coaster going through the stage, you know, having you fight on it, and then I was going to put a background one to be able to fight on. For some reason, I thought that you could cross the rails on itself, alright? So if you have one and you're drawing it, that you could make like a loop-de-loop and make a semi-solid. You can't do that. You never could. I don't know why I thought that you could do this, but for some reason, I just made that mistake. And I got so frustrated that I just decided, you know what, I'll come back to it. And I put the actual castle and I put the red bar there to be like the roof. Had I been able to put more detail into it, I would have loved to actually put more of a roof type of thing, but I want to make sure I had room for other things. And I decided to do a door just like from Bowser's Castle. If you guys have seen the last episode, I believe, of Build Me a Dream, we did Bowser's Castle, and I did this style of door where there was two wooden parts and then to iron stuff. Well, I ended up messing up on that, so I had to redo it because I put it in the wrong layer, and it just would look better in the sky layer instead of the background layer. I think is what I did. And then I ended up essentially deciding to put like a door frame just because I felt that it would look better. But there was a lot of playing around with that, and I don't remember if I go back and change stuff with that or if that's how I leave it, just because it's been decently long. Now, back onto the rail. So the way I did this is I did it in two separate parts. I did the first part, which was the actual loop, and this is actually the way that it was. And I decided to have it dip low, go up a little bit, loop around the top, and then go there because I figured, then you have a higher area to fight on, and it's something that's fairly interesting as well. And you guys saw I put the two segments there, which eventually I do try to actually adjust a little bit, make longer, and then I realized that's not going to work because of how it is, and it was just unfortunate, but because of the two parts, it didn't work out. But honestly, I feel like it actually looks pretty nice, and the idea of having that, I just thought it was cool. If I could, if there was a layer in between, I would have put in some kind of like railing system, because you guys know for coasters where you have the actual, you have the tracks that the wheels go on, and then you have the in-betweens that keep them together. I wanted to do something like that, but ultimately I just wasn't really able to. But now you can see I'm putting more of the details. So one of the things that I thought early on was maybe I'll put a platform in the pond area. And by the way, this is not a grabbable ledge. I should definitely mention that. But it goes pretty slow, adds another fighting area. And yeah, I'm just adding a few more details, and that's pretty much the stage. So yeah, there was something I wanted to talk about, and then I just forgot. You guys have any moments like that? I just saw that the time was getting really short, and that I gotta end this off really quick. And while you guys won't see the part with the flag itself, if you guys do want to actually try out this stage, you guys will see the updated version there as well in the picture in the actual video after this. You guys will see. Well, after this in the gameplay. Yeah. But added a few details, and yeah. Hopefully I'll see you guys. Well, post-spins, we'll see you guys in a second. I made myself so jumbled. Dang it, Spins. Okay, guys, so after a little bit of trying to figure out how to do some stuff, specifically the stairs area, because I just started off strong and then realized that the way I did it was gonna look kind of gross, and then that ended up spiraling into like a 30-minute attempt of me trying to actually redo the stairs and then not really being able to, because the first time I did the stairs I was able to get it like spot on. You could run up, you could run down, didn't look too small, looked really nice. I got a decent middle ground. But anyway, though, something that I forgot to mention in the beginning of this is that I actually decided the one day to draw some concept art. Now, this is pretty accurate to my concept art that I actually made, only missing a few, well, actually one detail, but adding another because I just felt that the background area was a bit bland. If anything, I might be able to get away with adding like one more window. But I'll probably show off the concept art, and this all started with me wanting to draw down my idea for Speed Highway because I had a really awesome idea for it. I'm really excited to do that. But then I realized Twinkle Park was next.
So I wanted to make sure that I drew that out, and I'm glad that I did. Even though you might be like, okay, why did you go for this area with, like, Big's area? And partially because I felt that had I done, like, the actual Twinkle Park track, Twinkle Circuit, it basically would have just been too similar to my Speed Highway idea and then a few other types of things. So I decided to go with this main castle area, and unlike Ice Cap, it's not really anything merged, but if you remember the beginning of Amy's section, or as I said, Big section, here's where it is. So here is the concept art really quick. I'll probably take a picture and see you guys later. But you guys can see pretty much very close one-to-one representation. Now the rails I did have to do a little bit differently because I had to do them in two parts, but I do actually like how it turned out. The flags turned out way better than I thought, even if the one is a little bit shorter, and of course this is stuff that I can just change later, add details, tweak before posting and stuff, and then I'll add any updates if necessary. The only key thing that is really missing from this is actually, as I said, we added the windows, but there is no stop light where I had at the beginning of that track area, I had a yellow light where, you know, it's green and it's red and stuff. But other than that, pretty accurate. The bombs, however, I did have to change a bit because, as you could see in the recording, yeah, apparently you can't put a bomb next to a bomb. You actually have to put like a sand block in the middle, and I feel like it's fine. From what I can tell, you can't really get hurt from it, and it's possible I might have to change the center because, as you guys may know from other stages, spawns can be kind of screwy when you have something like this in the middle of the stage, which is really annoying, and I just wish they'd add more improvements to Stage Builder, like being able to set your own spawn point, because that would just be way easier and way simpler. But yeah, here's Twinkle Park. We're going to save it, and we are going to go and check it out by fighting a computer. Now, one of the main reasons why I wanted to make sure that I did this tonight was actually because I have both Brandons coming over tomorrow. So I figured, you know what, I'll try to make Twinkle Park, and I wanted to. And then when I got home from celebrating New Year's at my grandma's, I just felt really, really sick. So I started working on Mario Maker stuff for the game that I was working on. And then I started feeling better around like 8-ish. And then I didn't get here until 9 because I got sucked into Big Bang Theory. Basically, it's me we're talking about, so, I mean, is it surprising? No. But, and sorry if the lighting's awful. This is more so set for multiplayer, and I just don't have the time to change that stuff. But, all in all, though, I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. You know, I feel like having the concept art definitely helped a lot. As I said, it was a real struggle trying to figure out where I actually wanted it to be set in, because a lot of the stages, you know, you think of a stage, and I think I said this in the last one, but you think of some kind of a stage, and I guess, no, we'll keep it random, and we'll change 6, sure. But a lot of the stages you think of, oh, Pac-Man, I guess this kind of makes sense. But you think of like Emerald Coast, and what's going to be your immediate thought? You know, you're going to think of the whale when you think of Emerald Coast. At least that's what I think of when I think of Emerald Coast. Oh, and I have items on. Sorry about that, guys. But that's fine. you guys know I use items, and it's whatever. For like a for fun stage, what is Pac-Man doing? Oh great, another stage where the AI is just really freaking awful. And actually, now that I think about it, the last time it was Pac-Man too, so that's really bizarre. Oh, and I think I can change the bombs too, which is kind of nice. Okay, I would like to fight at a different area. I know there's not a lot of places to fight. There's a lot of things you can hit on. Well, there's a lot of places to fight. They're just very small places. Yeah. You can get there from the roller coaster too. But yeah, you think of these stages, and you know, Casinopolis, I said I had a few issues with, mainly because there's a lot of places that you can actually think of. Great. Okay, could you not, Pac-Man? Like for me, I think of the sewers, I think of the jackpot area, and then I think of the actual. Could you stop grabbing me? Pac-Man, your grab sucks. Why are you using it? Oh, how annoying. But you think of all those different areas, you know, with the money, the sewers, the slot machines, which is what I ended up going with. But for Twinkle Park, you don't really have that. And I don't know if that's just me or, oh my god, I'm not calling it like a bad stage, because it's not a bad stage. It's actually a really fun stage. If anything, I'd say the Twinkle Circuit part is probably the best part of it. You know, most recognizable. Oh my god, Pac, get out of here, bro. Sorry, right now it's so late that it's just hard to think and commentate. Because I stayed up till like 3 in the morning. But I think you guys pretty much get... Wow. Okay, I think you guys pretty much get the idea of what I'm saying. It's that, you know, a lot of these stages, and I've said this so many times too, but a lot of these stages, they have something memorable to be able to make... Well, dang, I just baited myself. They have something memorable to be able to very easily pick a location to make a Smash stage out of. But for Twinkle Park, and then there's a few others, don't really have that. There's even a few bosses where I'm willing to say, you know, be very easy to make a stage out of. And that's something that I would like to do, but I want to tackle all the stages first, and then maybe I go into other types of stages, areas, and then bosses and stuff. Okay, I don't know what this Pac-Man AI is, but it's freaking ridiculous. Oh my gosh. I do like that we're at least fighting over here, though. Oh. The Smash Ball is the real roller coaster of the show. Oh, please kill him with the Smash, because that would be great. Really? Really? But I had like 1 second more. Ah, yes, let's kill Pac-Man with his ghosts, though. Stage is big enough, though, to where it's not really that big of an issue. Yeah, throw you into the... Oh, I thought it was going to get hit by Blinky and then just flip over. Oh, man. These stages, to be fair, since they are big, probably would be for the better to actually use like a lesser move set, but also to use items, because then they at least go by quicker. Yeah, but I think now that I think about it, weirdly enough, Casinopolis was Pac-Man. And that was the last custom stage that we did. Okay, could you go away now, Pac-Man? I mean, I like the stage, but... Oh, he almost just dipped out, like, entirely. That'd be great. There we go. Not cool or dramatic, but hey, you know. Does the trick. So... obviously what I'm going to go back and change is I'm going to turn off some of those grabbable ledges just because it's needed. I'm sure I'm going to test this out before posting. Like, I'm going to test it out with actual people. Hopefully it works well and everybody thinks that it's fun. But, yeah, for the most part, I really don't think there's much that has to be tweaked except for getting rid of certain grabbable ledges, which I always just tend to forget about. But anyway, though, guys, if you enjoyed, make sure to hit that like button, share this out with everybody you know and love. Brother, sister, father, Iguana. And if you guys have any Sonic Adventure stages that you have created, or any stage, specifically Twinkle Park, if you guys have made that in your own time, if you've had any friends that have made it, let me know what your guys' rendition is by sharing your codes in the comment section down below so I can check out what your guys' creations are. So far I haven't really seen much of any. I know there's a lot that have been posted, not just mine, and it's crazy and insane. And I think by the end of this, I'll probably go over, you know, all the stages, and I'm probably going to call it, like, Stage Pack 1 for Sonic Adventure, and go over all the stages, say which one is my favorite, which ones I could probably improve on, and all of that. But without further ado, I'm going to end this off, so see you guys later. Keep it safe. Also, Happy New Year, I guess. I don't know when this is going out, but yeah, as you can see, still late. I went to bed at like 3 yesterday. I'm going to bed at like almost midnight tonight. I gotta be better with health. Alright. Keep it safe.